This year, Copa America took place in the USA, traditionally a tournament for South American nations only. CONMEBOL, the South American Football Federation, made the decision to invite North American clubs to the tournament this year and host the competition in the US. America's biggest cities, such as New York, LA, Vegas, Dallas, Miami, and more, would be showcasing some of the biggest nations and players in the world of football. The first of 4 major football tournaments that are going to be held in the US over the next 4 years. The US got invited to this tournament back in 2016, and we made it to the semifinals, losing to Argentina. This time around, our squad being 10 times better. Pulisic, McKinney, Adams, Weah, Balogun, Robinson, Ream, Richards. On paper, the best U.S. squad of all time. This invite to the Copa America was a chance for us to prove ourselves as a footballing nation. Sorry, soccer nation. In my opinion, it was semifinal or bust. But instead of reaching or exceeding those expectations, the worst case scenario unfolded. This is the story of the USA Copa America run and how it ended in shambles. So the USA got put into a group with Uruguay, ranked 14th in the world, Panama, who are ranked 43rd in the world, Bolivia, who are ranked 84th in the world, and then themselves, ranked 11th in the world. Yes, the USA was ranked higher than Colombia, Uruguay, even Germany. Our first match was against Bolivia, and I sat down to live stream the match with 100% confidence that we would win. There was literally not a doubt in my mind that we were going to lose this game. The USA sent out their best lineup. We got an early goal to start the tournament from Christian Pulisic, and a goal from Florian Balogun, our new signing, basically. Yeah, he could have chose to play for England or the US. He chose us. Mistakes might have been made there. We also missed loads of chances. We had 20 shots, 8 total on target. We could have won by more, but it was a great start to the tournament. 3 points sent us to the top of the group with Uruguay. So for game 2, I packed my bags and headed down to Atlanta, Georgia for the match at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, one of the most futuristic stadiums in the US, and a stadium that will host World Cup matches in 2026. We arrived early to tailgate with all the US fans. The event was hosted by the American Outlaws, the official supporter group of the US, and truly one of the main sponsors of the U.S. national team and one of the main sponsors of my channel. The vibes were extremely high. Food, drinks, live music, cornhole, and USA fans everywhere. Considering we had a 77% chance to win this game, I don't think a single person was worried at all. Then it was time to march to the stadium about an hour before kickoff. We walked in past this giant Falcon statue.
All right, baby, let's go. Into the USA match. 3-0. 3-0 is my prediction. What is your prediction?
I got 2-0. Both of us have a
Finally, it was time for kickoff. Things kind of went downhill from there. So let's start with one of the first big decisions of this match. Matt Turner getting taken out by one of the Panama attackers. No card whatsoever. Then just minutes later, disaster struck. One of the Panama players must have just triggered Tim Weah, because Tim Weah basically punched this dude in the face. He got a red card, he got sent off, and now in a game that we were projected to win, we were down to 10 men, and it felt like everything was going against us. Just minutes later though, one of the best goals I have ever witnessed for the US in person from Balogun. Outside the box, top corner. I think the reaction on my face says it all. We're up 1-0, down to 10 men. Everything's fine, right? Wrong. After loads of more questionable calls by the referee, Panama would score 1, Panama would score 2. USA lost 2-1. Although the ref was horrible, the way a red card really set us up for disaster. We stayed at second in the group, but we needed a huge result against Uruguay to guarantee we would make it out of the group. Our next stop was Kansas City for the final group stage match, where the USA was surprisingly the favorite to win against Uruguay. A team with players like Valverde, Suarez, Nunez, and so many other amazing players. We met back up and pre-gamed with the American Outlaws before the game with Truly, and Truly rented like 30 buses to bus as many American fans as possible from downtown Kansas City to the stadium. We got to see the beautiful sights of Kansas City. Just kidding. There's like nothing there. The match was at Arrowhead Stadium, another stadium that would be hosting games for the 2026 World Cup, and the home stadium of the Kansas City Chiefs and Taylor Swift. This stadium is genuinely in the middle of nowhere. There's absolutely nothing there besides a football stadium, a baseball stadium, and a massive parking lot. America at its finest.
All right, boys, here we are. We have arrived at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. USA, Uruguay, game 3 of the group stage. We need a result to go through. And here's the thing. Even if we get a result, we might not actually go through. We're here, obviously, with the legends at Truly. The official hard seltzer of the U.S. national team and the official hard seltzer of the BFordLancer channel. Drink responsibly. I am very nervous about this game, boys. A win should get us through. As long as Panama don't beat Bolivia like 5-0, we're fine. This would be an absolute embarrassment to get grouped in Copa America when the tournament is in our home country. Right. Do some tailgating, head in, and watch the U.S. beat Uruguay. Hopefully this doesn't get clipped and we end up losing like, I don't know, 5-0. Let's go inside. Come on.
We got to the stadium and the energy outside was absolutely electric. Obviously, loads of USA fans, but wow, the Uruguay fans showed out. And we finally entered the stadium and prepared for the match where these were the scenarios. Yeah, basically the US could win and still not even make it out if Panama got a big win over Bolivia. While we arrived to our seats and we're ready for kickoff. All right, let me walk you through this game. Oh man, I still have PTSD from this. The ref at this game was the worst ref I have seen in my entire life. And just to show you I'm not being biased, this ref had literally been exposed for match fixing in games in South America and somehow was hired to be a referee in this tournament. So to start this match out, the USA was actually looking great. We are keeping possession, we are getting chances, and then we get our first horrendous call. Tyler Adams gets yellow carded after he got stepped on by a Uruguayan player. There was also a moment in the first half where the ref blew the whistle, completely stopped play, took out his yellow card to book one of the US players, fine. And then Uruguay just like took the ball and played on, and the ref just like allowed it, and Uruguay almost scored from it. While all this was happening, Panama scored against Bolivia, and as things stood, the USA was out. Halftime hit and vibes were at an all-time low inside Arrowhead Stadium. From the bad calls we saw in Atlanta to now, it felt like someone just didn't want us to win. But to start the second half, we got great news as Bolivia equalized against Panama. And as it stood then, the US were through. After that, Greg Berhalter signaled to the players 1-1. Instead of focusing on our own match, our manager was more worried about the other match. And you can't make this up. Within 30 seconds of that, Uruguay scored and the USA were down. And as it stood then, the USA were out of the group. Absolute chaos. But luckily, VAR stepped in, and from everything we saw on TV, the goal was clearly offside and would be overturned, but you forget who's officiating this match. What was clearly an offside goal was given by the referee, and the goal stood. 1-0 Uruguay. Panama scored another and would end up winning 2-1. And the final whistle blew in our match. The USA had officially been grouped. On our home turf, in our home country, fans were literally chanting to fire Greg Berhalter while leaving the stadium. As a diehard USA fan, it's honestly just sad. I also want to touch on the attendance from this game because people were talking about it all over social media. Yes, the US did not sell out any of their own matches in the group stage. Now, to be fair, all the stadiums that they played at could hold over 80,000 fans. And in the first game, I think we got over 60,000. And at this game in Kansas City, I think we got close to 60,000, which is a lot. But ticket prices for the upper levels were pretty expensive, and it prevented a lot of American fans from going, sadly. Yeah, that part sucked. And that's where we're left with. And listen, I did a lot of complaining about the referees this video, which I think was deserved. But at the end of the day, I think the Tim Weah red card really cost us. If he didn't get sent off, I think we easily beat Panama, or at least draw them and make it out of the group. It just sucked because the vibes were so high before all these games. The diehard USA fans showed out. Always have such an amazing time at all these games, man. And still praying for the day when the US will become an elite footballing country, an elite soccer country. I hope you guys enjoyed this video walking you through the US's Copa America run and my experience there. Shout out Truly, one of the main sponsors of this channel. If you guys want to learn more about them, click right here, and click here to watch me adventure across Europe to the World Cup to watch the US play in 2022. Peace, boys.